Alrighty, welcome everyone. Good morning. It is Friday. I am here to announce the poll results, and then I'm going to go and get some other stuff done, and then I'm going to record 86, the last episode, and that's my day for the day mostly, except gym, and there's supposed to be like a hangout later, and then Saturday's off. Okay, great. Schedule's all set, and whatnot. Poll results. Here are all the graphs. This story tells itself. Also, I took a screenshot, like, let me go find it, like 2 days into the poll, and that looks like this, and it's kind of the same. It has not changed much. It has not changed much. This is the biggest poll that we've ever had, which is a trend that will continue as we continue to gain more subs and people. We're going up, 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 and people who think that we're not going up, I don't know what you're looking at, because we're going up, baby. And we are going up like the graph on Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which is the show that we're going to watch. Lycoris Recoil gets to stick in as the second winner thing. The math is so easy on this poll that I'm not even going to do it. I'm really just not even going to do the math. It's so obvious. But, ta-da! Ta-da! Lycoris Recoil will stick around. But this will wash for Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which, judging from the comments, pretty much everyone thought was going to be the case, which makes perfect sense to me, given that I just did a whole spiel about how Trigger is essentially my favorite studio and makes the best stuff in the universe, and I believe it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something different here. We're going to do something that, somebody made fun of me for being like Digibro, who is now DigiNay, and who is now Digi, and I'm just going to call Digi, because Digi is Digi, and Digi's always been Digi, and that hasn't changed. There's this scene that I've always really admired in one of Digi's commentaries. It's in the beginning sequence of The Asterisk War Sucks, specifically in part 2, I believe, and it's where Digi goes ahead and looks at the... does this before going and actually looking at the show. And I don't know how much of this initial analysis is legit, or if Digi went and watched more of the episodes and then came back into this analysis to seem smart. I don't know. But I'm going to do the same idea, which is I'm going to go look at the cover art for Cyberpunk, and we're going to see if I can manage to pull anything interesting out of it. So let me go find my anime list page and the ANN page. And this way, I haven't looked at anything for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Not one damn thing. I haven't looked it up at all. I've never seen any art. I've never seen anything. I'm going to look at the promo art. Boom. Promo art for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. There are like 5. Shit. This is the one that comes up mostly. Is this guy. Let me go and search Google by image to find the biggest version of this that I can. Excellent. That's what I'm talking about. All right. We got a thing. We got a boy. He's got a necklace. That matters. I don't know what that is. He's yellow, brown, shaved head, lines on the sides. Wonder if he's cyborgified at all, but he's our character insert. Like, that's us. That's you. When you look at this, that's you. This is your boy. We got a cool, edgy art style where we've got everything in shadow and light. He's got this balance going on between this kind of cool glow on the inside and the yellow outside. It matches the font, which is good. There's a coherence to the color scheme of everything. Reds and greens are dominant, and then blues are sort of held in the background as like a secondary thing. I think we can pretty clearly tell that people with lots of red in their textures are not going to be great folks. Or at least are going to be more interesting than otherwise. Not sure what to read on this guy. Looks like Cyber Keanu being fucking crazy. That's awesome. This woman back here turned the other way from us is wearing the same outfit that we are. So I wonder if we're part of the same team or group, but she's facing a different direction, so there's something going on there. This lady is manipulative, intelligent, beautiful, condescending. I mean, obviously from the angle that she's got with us. And I would guess that she's got this guy wrapped around her finger, but I don't really know. The way that she's holding her cigarette shows that she believes herself to be very much in charge and very much in control. And the way that she's sort of set at odds with this guy indicates to me that I would expect that she's not actually in control of him, which is cool. Also, I just realized that this lime green that's in sort of some of the lighting and stuff, creating some of these accents and lighting bits, this is the same lime green that's around the pink-green contrast that's the core of Promare, which makes sense to me. Mr. Big Beefcake is authority or power. Like, he is capable of power. We've got what I would guess is some kind of tiny cyber child with horror and evil. That's good. This guy's a bad guy. This guy is more like the computer guy from Kill la Kill. I don't expect that this person is actually bad necessarily, but that they are at odds with our protagonist or our protagonist's goals would make sense. This guy's clearly completely rich, super inhuman, dehumanized by the sunglasses and the grin, violent and vitriolic and cruel and authoritarian, monstrous. Okay, that's some stuff. Obviously, this lady is attractive. They know that she's attractive, and they're using her as part of the thing. She's got some cool spirals built into her haircut, and I really like her hairstyle and design, especially where it goes from these pastel peachy colors to this indication of the potential for green or blue hues that then shifts right out, and it's gone immediately. Because she's all pinks and stuff, and then there are these shadow highlights of blues and yellows, and like more potential there, more possibility there. That's pretty cool. There's definitely something to her that's compelling. Nothing else seems to be revealed about Main Boy here. Just that his hairstyle is 2 colors and 2 tones, which indicates duality within, I would say. And sort of electrical, which again, sort of a thing for cyberpunkiness. I'm not sure if this is him again. It looks like it's the same haircut, but it might not be. We just see this is the same pose that Ryuko takes in front of the giant establishment of the cityscape of Honnoji Gakuen and Honnoji Town. So, like, character who holds some kind of cross-shaped light glowing power in their right hand is about face and at odds with an established hierarchy of cubist dominance, which itself has a cross within it. So there's truth here, there's reality and power here, but it's probably corrupt and weird. And so this is this character at odds with society trying to figure out an integrative, like, possibility there. And everything is a reverse hierarchy, because if you flip this over, this is a reverse funnel that comes down with him centered in it, and he produces a triangle within. So he's dedicated toward moving forward in a world that's dedicated toward moving against him. Or perhaps you could say he is generate in a world that is degenerate. Something like that. Okay, that all tracks to me. I don't know if any of it's accurate, obviously. I'm just making this shit up, right? I'm just doing it from inference. Cannot tell what the symbol on his back is. She seems to have string powers, which is interesting. So maybe I've misread her and she's more about connection and severing than anything, because those string powers, like the ones in others, are like cut things, but also the ties that bind. Yeah. So here we go. Plot summary. David Martinez is an in-debt, expelled teenage dropout who teams up with a mercenary gang of cyberpunks called Edgerunners. Okay. So they are probably the team, and that's probably the bad guy. So they're probably the squad, actually, and she's probably the one who brings him in. So I've misinterpreted that as, like, enemy-ness, but it's just because he's made to be distinct. So that makes things right. He is able to use cyberware that would otherwise cause others to go crazy. This is classic. The main character has some power that they can unlock that other people can't unlock, and there's danger to that power. It's the concept of the shadow. It's the concept of the power to destroy things. It's the concept of strength and the willingness to do stuff and the willingness to go through pain. Literally, the only thing that separates most protagonists from their friends or the people who are not protagonists is the willingness to overcome hardship in the pursuit of their goals. If they're not willing to overcome hardship in the pursuit of their goals, they're the bystander who goes, "Oh, I wish I could be a hero." And if they are willing to overcome that hardship, well, they're the protagonist. So, oh yeah, we can see that he's actually got a spinal integration thing here. He's got this down his spine. So there we go. That's huge, actually. That's really huge. So I wonder what the symbol around his neck is. I have to wonder if that's a key to anything, Attack on Titan style, or if it's somehow a symbol of his past history or the unknown. I would expect, just as a guess, given, is this Imaishi writing it? Who's writing it? Otsuka and Usa, Imaishi directing. Okay, cool, good. Then I would expect that it's something to do with his past that he doesn't know how to deal with, or some indicator of the future. I mean, this is trigger tradition, is the drill, the scissor blade is the thing that guides Ryuko, and then Senketsu is the other thing that she wears that guides her. It's all these different elements that stack on top of each other. It makes perfect sense. I wonder how painful his ability to engage with his cybernetic powers is for him, and whether there's a sequence of transformation when he like engages them and goes cyborgy or whatever he does. I would expect so, but I don't know. I would view and guess from the outset that the technological integration of cyborgification, first off, is an idea that I propose and am forward about. I think integrating with technology is our only future. I believe it wholeheartedly. Go read Charles Strauss's Accelerando and tell me that's not a future you want to try to move toward. Go read the book. And tell me that it's a future you don't want to move toward. I think it's the only real like salvation for humanity is to integrate and figure out a way to build machines that can carry us forward into the future and integrate more wholly with technology. So that's really cool to me. I think it's also an expansion of the classic Gyna Traeger lineage of mecha shows. I've talked about this a lot in some recent videos. I've talked about this idea that when you get into a mecha and you say, I'm going to do this, what are you doing there? You're integrating with your own power to cause harm and change in reality and manifesting yourself as a unified being that is both parts of you. When Shinji gets into the robot, he is integrating with society and culture and parenthood and the traditions and the expectations of everybody around him in order to be more powerful than he actually admits that he is to himself and defeat things that are the embodiments of the destructive nature of like entropy and shit. Like you can fight once you get into the mech. We watch Promare and it's like he gets into the thing and he henshins and it's like whoop 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 and he takes the pose, and when he takes the pose it self-articulates everything around him and the whole thing becomes a mech that he can use to fight. And when he uses it to fight, he uses the tradition of the Matoi as part of the thing, and he can put out fires and also save people and be more than he otherwise would be. Rad. So what does it mean when you take the mech outside of the mech and you put the mech inside the person? Well, it's the same idea as like taking God outside of the church and putting it inside the individual. It's this power is not a cultural power, it's an individual power. It's a self-directed, self-chosen thing that you are in control of and a part of. And you are more in control of it than it is in control of you. And while it protects you, it is not a full shell for you. You have to be open and vulnerable and unsafe in the process of integrating with your thing that grants you powers. That seems like an evolution of the process that started in the Busters, with characters getting inside giant robots to fight unknown in the form of chaotic space aliens that just want to destroy everything. Like, it's the same lineage and the same tradition of stuff. If I had a key around my neck, it would be shaped like a girl tearing her shirt in order to make herself more vulnerable in the face of the aliens that will destroy her entirety, and like accepting herself in that moment and shit. It would all be a part of that. Okay. He's able to use cyberware that would otherwise cause others to go crazy. So there's a cost to being powerful. Yeah, for sure. David and his fellow Edgerunners take on illicit jobs in an alternate future world that has everything going against them. Right, because everything is against them. They're up against the backdrop of overbearing technology, and then in the other one, everything is weight upon him. Weight upon us, and a funnel downward. Everything moves downward in the wrong direction. The pyramid is inverted. It's like if you were to look at a graph or a chart, or like a curve or whatever of vertically, where is the wealth? You know, where is the number of people? Looks like this. Where is the wealth? Looks like this. And it's like, maybe there's something weird about that. Maybe part of that is a natural distribution, but some of it ain't, man. Some of it's corruption. And that's what it is. We get these square systemic structures that are built on top of actual truth that we see in the Fibonacci cross, which is 2 and 1 split into 1 and 2, and 3 and 1, or 3 and 2 becoming 1 and 1 and 1. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. Fibonacci sequence. It's also what binds this thing to being here and his other hand to being here and this cross to being where it is, and all the lines are where they are because Trigger people know their fucking math. They really know their math, and it's all in here as well. We get the spirals there and down into the eyes, and you can mimic the spirals here and down into the face of her, sort of. It's all weird and good and well put together, I think. Well stacked up, Trigger, which indicates to me that there's good stuff in the show. That indicates to me that there's good stuff in the show. When you can look at a piece of media about a show and it looks like trash, that indicates that the show is trash, probably, like, in all likelihood. When you look at a piece like this and you're like, that feels correct. Even if I'm misreading all of it, it feels correct. That's a good indicator to me, man. Green flags. Green flags. Okay. An alternate future world that has everything going against them. As David climbs the underground ranks, events happen that take these Edgerunners through love, death, secrets, betrayal, and right to the edge, to the powerful corporate elites that look down upon everyone with twisted, deadly vengeance. So, 2022. This sounds right. Sounds like there's some solidly resonant stuff here that might be really useful for young adults and individuals who care about media and stories in a world where it feels like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and technology seems to only serve those who are adept, and seems mostly to serve those who are wealthy. But there seems to be this magical chance that we all wish upon ourselves, that we could just reach out and grasp some piece of unique technology and use it uniquely for ourselves and manifest and push ourselves not necessarily toward wealth or joining the ranks of the rich, but instead toward upsetting some part of the system that seems fundamentally unfair to all of us. That sounds like the kind of thing that you might want to tell in a story. And the struggles and problems that you might reach as you try to be a human who will survive in a world like that, especially a world where if you go and you actively and directly fuck with authority structures, they maybe come at you with twisted, deadly vengeance, which seems accurate as well. Go start rioting in the streets. See how it goes. It doesn't work. You got to be pretty smart about these things. So having somebody be more smart about these things and show a direction that you could take the ideas that come from partly just you need to survive in a world that's chaotic and hectic, and partly from the idea that how do you be a hero in a world where heroism is stamped out, where the tallest poppy gets cut? How do you be heroic in a world like that? How do you overthrow things that are so much bigger than you that you are fundamentally a part of them? Like, everyone, they're only barely in little edges moving outside of the walls, of the bounds of this city. You know, it's just the tip of a gun here, a little corner there, a little bit of an elbow there, a little bit of a hand here, a little bit of an elbow here, and a little bit of him. And then she's inside of it completely as it follows down there. Like, they're not outside of the system. They're against it and at odds with it and at fun, goofy angles compared to the structured hierarchies of reality. They're fun and goofy and colorful and interesting, and we want to get to know them, but are they really, really doing much to change the way things are, or are they just getting by the way things are? And that brings up another idea about, like, the co-option of rebellious intent. Revolutionary intent always becomes a thing that the systems that don't want to get revolted against just co-opt. They turn that into entertainment, and then it becomes sort of desensitized. You become desensitized to the idea that there's something wrong in the world that maybe you should fight against. And then just the idea of media that portrays fighting against reality gives you the same satisfaction that you would get from really fighting against reality. And so you stop actually caring about fighting against reality because you're like, well, I got my rocks off watching that show that did the thing where there was this big bloody revolution and it made me feel real good about everything. I watched this dystopian revolution thing go down, and that's all I really needed. Or I got outraged about something enough and I felt really angry, and that feels really fulfilling to me because at least I got to feel angry about something and feel justified about it. And now my anger has been channeled away from the actual systems that are producing angry situations in order to deflect and defend themselves. They have channeled that anger toward other things. They don't really care what. Just be angry about something else, please. Not the things that matter, please. Please, not the things that matter. Be angry about anything else. Just don't stop us from pulling the oil from the center of the earth. Please, 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 please. We really need that oil to get some more money. Please stop. Stop making us stop doing that, and everything will be fine, man. Just ignore the child laborers, man. Ignore that shit. It doesn't matter. Ignore the millions of people in various nations who are literally starving and dealing with poverty. The big issues, guys, the big issues are the ones right at home, the ones closer to you, the really small issues that don't actually matter. Let's ignore the big issues out there that we would have to cause real systemic overall change to even move toward solving at all. Ignore all those. Those are too difficult. Just buy your fucking Starbucks and talk with all your petty little friends about how much good you did in the world today. Instead of recognizing that there are thousands of children dying of malaria, and you could save a few dozen of them with a few dollars dedicated toward mosquito nets. By the way, link to a charity that purchases mosquito nets for children. Don't pay me on Patreon. Go buy mosquito nets for kids so that they don't die, and then maybe they can grow up and go to school, and maybe they'll figure out a way to save our fucking planet. Like Mr. What's his name here? What's his name? What's this guy's name? David. Like maybe David here. Like maybe that kid who doesn't die because you bought him a mosquito net is going to grow up and be the next generation's little David Martinez who goes out there and figures out that they have a talent for programming and they write a piece of code that changes the world. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? That would be fucking cool. Go buy mosquito nets for some children. And then you can go and talk over your Starbucks about how you actually saved some lives today with a petty few dollars that you earned doing work that probably doesn't matter much to you. Then maybe you'll feel like you've done something useful. That would be really sick. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Comment down below. Pat yourself on the back for going and buying mosquito nets for children. It's a good thing to do. Genuinely and truly good. Good job. Okay, so we're going to watch Cyberpunk Edgerunners starting next week. I'm going to watch 86 in a little bit. And I hope that this was a fun, rambly thing where I tried to break down some of the visuals. And I hope that you guys could have fun calling me out on being totally wrong about these. Please don't actively call me out on being right or wrong about any of this. I don't want to know. It will spoil shit for me. I'm throwing this out there so that you have an idea of where I'm coming at this show from, because that's the first time I've ever read any of that or seen any of it, and now I've captured it on camera, and so you get to see my genuine and immediate inferences that I come at for this show from the public description-y blurb and the pieces of art that we just looked at. Cool. I think that's useful. I think that's valid and cool. Thanks for watching. Hope you feel good about the poll results. Oh, Monday. Next Monday, so in like 4 days, there will be another poll. It will be a poll for a movie. It will be a poll for a movie that I watch on a Monday, and then I leave it on Patreon for a week, and people discuss it, and then I post it on YouTube, and then I do the second discussion of it. And so if you want to do a double discussion of a cool movie, stick around on the Patreon, because there's going to be a poll up with a few movies on it for me to choose between movies to watch, and I've got a list of a few that I know that people want me to watch, and there are movies for me to double discuss, and for you to be a part of the discussion. So if you got a movie that there's like stuff that either you know, maybe a movie that you're fascinated by, but you can't put into words why. That would be dope. Or a movie that you have some things you want to say about, or a movie that impacted you at some point in your life that you think might be useful to me and useful to others. Think about it. If you got recommendations, drop them in the comments here for films. Before Kimetsu no Yaiba movie, I'm probably going to put it on the poll. Just chill. Like, chill. I know. Put them in the comments, and I'll look at them, and we'll choose. We'll poll on them on the Patreon on Monday, and that should be fucking awesome. That's gonna be it. Thanks so much for watching this little intro thing. I'm gonna go take a shower so that I wake up, and peace.